Greetings, beloveds. Welcome to Muse and Magic 1111. Thanks for stopping by my channel for yet another deep dive into your tarot journey. My name is Aisha, also known as Goddess. I am reading to you from Bay Area, California. I am your local Muse, spiritual advisor, healer, holistic healer, author, homeschool mom, workshop facilitator, and so much more. Let's just get into it. I always start off these readings with a song or a healing of sorts. Believe you me, once you tap into this reading, the healing is already happening, sweethearts. Even if I'm not, you know what I'm saying, doing my little Reiki or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's already happening because it's just a common running thread through everything that I do, okay? And it is not me. It is just pure divinity, okay? I am just a vessel, and I'm so happy to be so. To be here to be able to help you navigate through the themes, running themes, or various things happening in your life right now, in love and finances, in your spiritual walk or path. I'm here. I'm your girl. Okay. I wanted to do a series of these astrological reads for each individual sign, but I wanted to utilize them as if they were deep conversations with your friend, giving you the stuff that you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. So these readings may not be all fluff and fluffy and euphoric and oh my God, yeah, that's great. No, it might also be the good, bad, and the ugly. Okay, so because again, I'm not your yes friend. Okay, I'm the one who's going to keep it real, like for real with you. Okay, because you know that's what we're here for. We're here to transform. We're here to transition many times over. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow up. We're here to grow our souls, right? And we can't do that always being in this comfortable state with all these yes people around us who never tell us about ourselves truly, right? So, and I'm not saying that that's what's going to come up for you in the message. I'm just saying if it does, I'm not going to withhold. I'm going to definitely let you know whatever spirit brings up is what I'm going to give to you. Straight, no chaser, okay? So let's just get into it. Okay. I wanted to start off with the general energies for you right now, Libra. And we have Tortoise that comes up first. I always think of the tortoise or tortoise and the hare. And it really is about slow and steady running the race, you know. Um, it's like you're slowly but surely getting ahead. I feel like sometimes, Libra, you're in your own head, you know, feeling as though maybe you're not where it is that you want to be, or as far along as you'd like to be right now in life, or in your life, or maybe for many, you know, for many people now, there's like a restart that's happening, a reset. Many have been laid off. Many may not have a job anymore. Many may be finding out you've been in the same job for 30, 40 years or 20 something years. And it's like, you know, you just burnt out. You're just ready for something different. You're ready to work, you know, smarter, not harder. And so, with all of that being said, sometimes you're really hard on yourself because when there's a startup or a transition, it looks like things are moving so slowly. It looks like everyone else in your peer group or whatever is advancing, or they already know what they want, or they've been doing what they've been doing, and their, you know, their finances look like this. They have the house, the home, the car of their dreams, whatever it is that worries you, and you feel like, man, I haven't accomplished all the goals that I thought I'd have accomplished by now. I haven't closed out all of the projects in my queue, like, you know, all these dreams I had of things I wanted to do a certain way or do it at a certain time, and I haven't done that. And that's okay. Take it easy on yourself, okay? Be compassionate with yourself. Know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be for such a time as this, but that also is not an excuse to, you know, to not put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do what you've been doing. Or if you've been doing nothing, um, become a little more proactive towards your goals. One thing a day, one small thing. Making a phone call, making a list, you know, one small thing each day towards your actual goals. Um, for some of you, you may have felt like, you know, you it's a lot of things coming in right now. So for some of you, you might feel like, you know, your credit ain't where it's supposed to be. For others of you, it's like, you know, your money ain't where it's supposed to be. For others of you, it's like, man, I'm not even sure what I want to do. I just know I don't want to do what I've been doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, I'm overworked, I'm underpaid. Like, I gotta change something. Be patient and kind to yourself. But one thing a day. Research different careers, different opportunities. Research, you know, do your due diligence, but you know, it'll come to you. The biggest goal you can set for yourself is communicating with universe, with spirit, and asking what it is that you're called to do at this time. Where is it that you're needed? Your expertise, your knowingness, or your energy. Okay. And when we start to communicate with spirit, I promise you, you do get answers. You know, you do get answers. Everything you need will show up for you. Okay. Um, so let's get into your specific messages right now. Generally, you know, this is about taking it slow. Slow and steady, you know, wins the race. You are where you're supposed to be for such a time as this. But there is some type of a discord, I guess, amongst friends or someone in your friend circle or your family. Something's going on. Some type of, I almost want to say, mishap or misunderstanding, or even if it's not a misunderstanding, there's just some type of disconnect. You know, maybe there's people you realize you had to leave behind. Maybe they didn't have your best interest at heart. Maybe there are people who are jealous of you, who said some things that you just didn't really appreciate, did some things you just really didn't appreciate. Um, Maybe there's some type of discord between you and someone. When I think of the word friends and family coming together, that means to me it could be a lover or an ex-lover or something like that. Um, Again, there's discord, and I don't feel like you're very happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just looking at this. This is a card. Um, yeah, this is a card of mice, and what comes to mind, because there's three of them, is three blind mice. Three blind mice. See how they run. See how they run. They all run after the farmer's wife, who cut their heads off with the farmer's knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life? Three blind mice, right? That's what comes up to me, that little quirky nursery rhyme situation. What am I saying? Sometimes, you know, um, chasing behind the wrong people, places, and thing can get your head cut off with a knife. Okay? Sometimes you have to basically, um, I almost want to say, cut off the discord, the disconnect. You have to cut it off with a knife, right? Meaning sometimes you have to decide how to solve the problem, how to have the hard conversations, how to, you know what I'm saying? You have to just address it and not avoid it. Because I feel like a lot of people, um, especially Libra, because you try to be so diplomatic all the time, right? That's your thing. That's the great thing about you, actually. But sometimes what that shows up in relationships or friendships and in maturing and or relating, it shows up as you not wanting to just deal with something. You not wanting to be about the backlash or the drama or the whatever you feel like comes with something. And so you can kind of just avoid it. Okay. I don't know why I said that, but that's relevant for somebody. Just take it how it resonates. Remember, this is not your personal reading. This is a general reading for Libras. So again, take the meat, throw away the bones. Don't try to make anything fit, but be open to how these messages show up, because this is just the energy of it, and it can kind of roll out in different ways. Okay. It could be something about, for example, this is mice. This is about discord amongst friends or family. Well, maybe you don't consider it a friend or a family because they weren't born into your family, but it's somebody you consider a play sister or play brother. It's still your family. You understand what I'm saying? So, or a god brother or god sister. It's still your family. Okay, so just take it how it resonates. So unsettled times. Yeah, this is unsettling times right now for you. It appears, at least that's how you feel. And and I feel like you feel like your world with the kangaroo card is kind of just boing, boing, boing. It's just kind of bouncing you all around. Um, October is relevant here. Maybe you're an October birthday, of course, Libra. This could be dealing with someone with an October birthday that's relevant. This could be something that transpired in the month of October that rings um, important to you. That could have a lot to do with this discord, right? And within this friendship or relationship. Um, but you've been waiting for news or something. You've been waiting for news or a package or either a letter. Okay, and it seems like this might come to you sometime in June. Maybe there's answers coming in June. Um, or answers coming from you know, coming from, mm, this looks like angel wings in June. Yeah, this is an angel, like angels surrounding you in June. Hmm. So there's news coming by way of letter, by way of mail, by way of, I don't know, you're just waiting for something. It seems like maybe you're waiting to get results or something, but something's coming to you. June is relevant here with angels basically being there for you, surrounding you, or just accompanying you, or maybe bringing these messages to you, okay? Um, yeah, because it's an announcement. Whatever this is some type of an announcement. Now, this may have to do with a dark-skinned woman or a dark-haired woman in your life. Okay, someone with dark complexion or dark hair. Now, romance is in the air here, so this news could be about some dark-skinned or dark-haired woman in your life coming across a new romance. Maybe there's a new romance with you and this dark-skinned or dark-haired woman. So again, this could just be a woman with dark hair, or she could be dark in complexion. But yeah, this is something that is asking you to pay attention to your work. Okay. Um, pay attention to your work. This is also about some type of heartache over what you no longer have. So this could be, a couple of things are coming out. This could be a situation regarding your work or your career. This might be an announcement having to do with that. Okay, this could come up and be relevant in June, or maybe you already got this announcement in June, and so that's why your life might feel a little bouncy and topsy turvy. Okay, but you got to pay attention to your work, something around the work, even if it's just the work that you're putting into this a certain situation. Okay, um, or even a certain person or relationship, because all this is like jumbled up. I just feel like your life is a jumble right now. You know what I mean? Like all these things and things going on at the same time, bouncing around. And just like I just did that, that's how your head is working. All these things are bouncing around in your head all the time. These thoughts, these things, these worries, these concerns, these, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking about work, you're thinking about a relationship, you're thinking about something that you lost or someone that you lost. You're thinking about, yeah, how you're going to turn all of this into success and achievement. But success and achievement is underway if you pay attention to your work. I feel like I need to tell you to just do what needs to be done. Solve the problem, whatever it is, do what needs to be done. Okay? And just try and keep a little bit of lightheartedness about you. There's going to be some lighthearted, carefree time coming up for you, either by the end of this day for some of you. By the end of the day, you're going to just start feeling a little bit lighter, right? Lighthearted. But for some of you, this is going to be in the next couple of weeks, or sometime in, obviously in the future. But I feel like that looks like the next couple of weeks, and for some of you, it might be just the next couple of months. Okay. But there's the news coming in, and some type of something going around, or something swirling around in your head having to do with this woman, about this romance. And maybe the news or announcement that you get is about this woman in some new romance. And then there's this, almost like this sadness or heartbreak over a loss, something that you no longer have, which I feel like could be this person. It could also be, again, this job. So just take it how it resonates. You know what your life is looking like. Okay. So let's kind of get more into the financial piece for you. So apparently, yeah, your career is in the process of an upgrade. Okay, your career is in the process of an upgrade. So there is an opportunity that is, here for you to be an authority in your work. So maybe this is something about being upgraded to some type of leadership position or role here. It's time for you to express yourself through in your own artsy way. So you to show up in this role in your own authoritative way, leadership way, but also bringing some type of creativity to it. Okay, you're doing it your way. Okay. Um, in you doing that and also being very creative with your finances, your investments at this time, this is what's going to bring you success and change and prosperity, into your life and into your career. Trying something new is relevant here, so exploring other options will also help you learn and grow. So doing something a little bit different. I feel like you're a type of person who's very routine. You like balance, and what that feels like to you is routine. I have my certain way and my certain time and my certain days of doing things, and this is the only way it needs to be done because this is what works. But nothing great is born from complacency, right? Nothing new happens. Nothing is born. Change isn't born from complacency. It's born out of discomfort, okay? So yeah, so you are, you're good at promoting and applying different marketing strategies to grow your business and continue to innovate, attract more. Okay, so yeah, that's part of your thing. Your part of your marketing and your promotion of yourself, of your business, or of whatever it is that you do, or of this new role you're stepping into, this leadership role, is the fact that you are your own self marketing campaign, meaning you have a very marketable personality. So you market things to people without even knowing it because it's really just your personality that shows up and shines. And so people naturally are drawn to you. They naturally like you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think that just naturally helps people to want to either invest or be motivated by you to do whatever needs to be done. Okay. And so you may be getting too emotional, you know, of the moment. Yeah, you're probably feeling a little bit emotional right now about the way things are looking, even in your career, about the way it's almost like I feel you feeling a little bit emotional and like you want to just kind of still hold on to what's comfortable. It's almost like you're getting this opportunity to rise up and to be elevated, but it's almost like you really don't want it. You're kind of like straddling the fence. Okay. But this is a time to stand up. You got to stand up. You're going to come back stronger. Whatever it is that you think you're losing in career or in job, you're going to stand up and come back stronger. Okay. So maybe it's a position that you're walking away from or that you've lost, but trust you me, the elevation is there. You know, this is for your own good. Okay. So that's what's going on for you in finances. And bottom of the deck is you have a great talent. Um, you have a great talent, whether you know it or not, for writing. Maybe it's just writing things down or, listing things or something like that. But your words are very powerful and they influence others. Um, and you can bring that into your new position, and that could do well for you um, to make more money for you. Maybe get you a raise or I don't know, but something to the tune of that. It is tied to your money. Okay. Um, so let's see here. Let's get into your relationship business. What's happening on that front? Okay. And I have got to um, let's see. I've got to get a little bit more comfortable, guys. Good Lord. All right. So the first thing out is playfulness. I feel like you're someone who's naturally playful, but I feel like you haven't really tapped into that lately. That ain't really been your vibe. It ain't really been where your heart has been at. In order for you to kind of get back and to recapture the romance into a situation, you're going to have to allow yourself to be youthful again. You're going to have to allow your spirit to have fun and to shine. Be your normal, natural, like I said, marketable self, right? You just naturally have a gift, I feel, Libra, of just making people like you or acclimate to you or draw to you because either you're naturally funny or you're naturally very talkative. So there's no boring, awkward spaces in between, when you're around people of non-conversation, right? You're just I feel like a very either a giddy person or a very, silly person or it's almost like you can be very reserved too and observant, but for the most part you just you have personality. There's a situation here there's a strong chemistry, a strong magnetic chemistry here. This could be a fair complexion woman with brownish hair. And here she's wearing red, so this signifies to me that this person is naturally a siren. You may be a masculine who could be fair complexion with dark hair, or you're a brown or brownish skin male with brown hair or with dark hair. Um, and you appear to be chivalrous. You're still very chivalrous, it seems to me. Now, this woman I'm going to say, because it looks like she's the more, someone here in this situation or connection is very playful and and brings out that side of you as well. You know, I hear laughter, like you enjoy the way this person laughs, or it's just a funny laugh to you, or you guys do a lot of laughing together and playing around. I almost want to say horsing around together, okay? The situation is calling for you to trust and have faith here. Take that how it resonates. Um, it's so funny because it's almost like Cupid is sitting here with an arrow, like, if you don't, I'm gonna have to shoot you. It's almost kind of like the way it's looking here to me. So yeah, so this is, it's almost like I know that someone here in this situation really wants this relationship to get to the next level. Okay. They want a higher level of commitment. Um, you, maybe you want a higher level of commitment. Um, but yeah, this is like a past life relationship here. This is someone that you've known before, in another lifetime. Um, and maybe there was a situation here of codependency. You know, maybe you feel like with this person, you depend on them too much for your happiness, or you depend on them too much for love, or something to the tune of that, you know. But there was some codependency here, and it also might have been that you know, had a some type of codependency literally with substance. That could be alcohol. It could be alcohol. It could be drugs. Um, it could be just smoking, whatever your vice though. It was like you know, this person, either this person was kind of like your drug, or you, in order to just not have to feel maybe what you were feeling, you, meaning the need or the codependency on this person, you know, which isn't healthy in a relationship, in any relationship, but maybe because of that there was this or your tendency to codepend on people in relationships, you know, yearn for them. I feel like you really want to go deep and attach to them, but then at the same time you don't, because you know what that can lead to. And maybe your experience has been in the past that you've always been the one to feel that way, but it seems like just as you open up and allow yourself to be vulnerable, um, the person is snatched away. Not meaning snatched by someone else, but it's like they leave or something snatches them up into a different reality. Okay? Life, another relationship, whatever. That is like, you feel like when you get close to someone and you just get close enough to open up and allow yourself to fall, then the situation is turned upside down. Okay? And you're left wounded and hurt. Thank you, Spirit. I don't know why these words are coming out of my mouth. I'm just talking and it's not even, it's almost like it's not even my, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so your love life was affected also by your upbringing. Okay? This could be spiritual path or religious beliefs, but I feel like when this card comes up, this is also about your upbringing from your parents and what they instilled in you. Even if you're not a churchy person or a very religious person, or, you know, maybe you don't even feel like you're a very spiritual person, but you still have been conditioned by familial things. And for some of us, even that karmic ancestral DNA. We may not have never stepped a foot in church our whole lives, but we still have this, you know, these beliefs passed down through us, even through just simple conversation of people and our ancestors who went to church or read the Bible and were very religious. You know what I'm saying? So you still have those conditions because those are your parents' parents, and then their parents, and then, you know, now you. And so they still have certain things, even if it's something that your parents used to always say. Well, you know, sleeping with somebody before you're married is a sin. Well, if you're told that your whole life, you never put your foot in, you know, stepped inside of a church, but you still have parents that kind of instilled that in you because that's what their parents said. You know what I mean? All of that can kind of play a role in, you know, you moving forward in a relationship, you know, or being with someone who has a different belief system than what your parents did. You may have never stepped foot in a church or in a mosque or anything else, but because your parents did, you still have a little bit of that because they were Jehovah's Witness, because they were whatever it is, you know, that your thing. you know, it can still be very relevant, you know, to your rebelling sometimes against a certain type of a person. You know, someone else who's into, um, I don't want to say an atheist, something just really extreme, but you know, just into just different things, and you looking at that like, or a different religious study or whatever. Some people so far as to think that people who are energy healers or you know that kind of thing that they're into some type of devil stuff. They do yoga, oh those devil poses. You know, people have bizarre, very bizarre interpretations of things. Um, so that could be relevant for somebody. You know what I mean? Just not being able to really go deep with someone who quote unquote is unequally yoked, right? Who's got different ways of viewing the world, or their spirituality from you. And you could really be attracted to them, but just still kind of do the pull away because I don't know, they're into some weird shit, right? So I'm just saying, I'm just putting it all out there because all these things are coming up. Okay. Now, again, I'm reading this because I'm looking at the way of the cards, but when I say masculine and feminine, don't get caught up in that. If you are a feminine Libra, you could still be in a masculine energy. But when I say masculine and feminine here, and I'm showing you even the depictions on these cards, I'm literally reading that as it is. So take it how it resonates. If you're in the reverse, you know what I'm saying? This could be in reverse, is what I'm saying. It still works the same way. Okay. So don't get stuck on the masculine, feminine, or him or her, you know, pronouns and whatnot. Okay. Take this how it resonates. You might be the person who has the dark hair and the fair skin, but you're dealing with a dark haired masculine or whatever the case. So don't, you know what I mean? Just, I'm giving you the energies. You just can interpret, use your intuition. That's all I'm saying. And you do have it, whether you think so or not. Okay. If it doesn't resonate with your heart or your soul, don't try to make it fit. Okay. This is a general reading. So here we go. Yeah, so wedding bells here. Okay. All right. So someone's religious factors were definitely somewhere, some kind of an issue, or your belief system. I'll put it that way. Something, or your childhood conditionings. Okay. There was a separation. There was time apart from this person, or has been, or there is now. And then there was a situation here that is calling for you to release your ex. You need to clear your energy from your ex. Again, I just feel like there's hurt and heartbreak that has happened in the past, and what we tend to do is we pile those things up, all those people, all those ex situations, you know, um, and we carry them around. We just carry them on our back like bag lady. You know what I'm saying? And we tend to not let go. And while we're no longer in those relationships, oh, I've forgiven and I've gotten over that person. You really haven't though, because the way that you know, go into the next situation or situationship or relationship, you're still carrying because you're reacting to this person, this new person, from a space and a place of what happened to you traumatically from your PTSD of the past relationships. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. That's how I want to put that. So, baby, it has to happen. It just has to happen once every time I'm reading my babies. I'm reading. You gotta go to bed, sweetheart. It's way past your bedtime. You have to go to bed. Maybe. I don't want to keep recording you on here, my love. I want you to go to bed. Not yet. Okay? Not yet. So, sorry, guys. It's going to happen. But everything is part of the reading. So, you know, that's what I want to say. There's a disturbance in the force. You know what I'm saying? There's a disturbance in the force. So, yeah, it's time to clear your energy from the past, from the heartbreak, from the hurt, from the pain, because that has blocked you from this connection of being together in a higher level connection, marriage, wedding, whatever. Now that's for some of you. For others of you, all of this transpired, and there's still something to say at the end of this. This person, the separation, what is desired here is a wedding. Maybe what is happening here is a wedding. Maybe you walked away from one situation and ended up getting married. Okay, take it how it resonates. But a wedding here is relevant, or some type of a higher level connection is desired or was desired, or either blocked because someone couldn't release their ex. Couldn't release the X factor, the X situation. Okay. That's crazy. Like I on the bottom of the deck, there's this unrequited love, but it's in reverse, and I don't typically read these in reverse. So it wasn't like this was a situation where there was unrequited love. You may have felt that way, Libra, but you were loved. And the flip side of this, I don't know why I gotta use flip side because this is flipped upside down. Unrequited love is that this could be that somebody desired a higher level situation with you and you didn't return. You didn't return the love, right? So unrequited might have been in reverse or towards the other person. Okay, so take it how it resonates. But at the end of the day, this is still about control, and someone here needs to let go of control issues. And Libra, I feel like it's you. You have a tendency, because of your past, of wanting to always be in control, which is why sometimes you show up as emotionally unavailable or avoidant. You don't take anything too serious. If I don't try and control them and tell them what to do and who they can see and what they're doing, then nobody can tell me who I can see and what I'm doing, can't talk about what I'm doing. But that's still very non-committal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, interesting. Hmm. There could be some type of reconciliation underway here if there's someone here who's separated from someone. But I don't see this reconciliation happening because it's in reverse unless there's heart-to-heart conversations, you know. And for God's sake, do not let your friends help. This is in the reverse. Do not let your friends help. I don't think that's a good idea because that came up in your cards earlier about some type of a discord, right, with a friend or something like that. So that person may have a lot to do with some of the separation or whatever's happening in this current situation. So I don't know. You know how it resonates, Libra. So here we go. What's happening now? Yeah, separation space. There's a blockage here. Turmoil, trouble. Something shocking. Something shocking happened around this woman. Long hair, kind of a light, fair-ish complexion, dark hair. And again, that's what's showing up on this picture. But if you are the person on the other side, feminine, just take that as you are the woman who's being spoken of, because this is your reading. And so don't worry about that. It's just for your masculine or for whoever you're dealing with, okay? And obviously, if you're same gender loving, then it's your person. So, yeah, so boundaries, okay? Someone had to draw the line here, and enough is enough, you know. But reconciliation and making amends, there's an opportunity of this happening now. Again, this could be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This could be 8. It could be 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months. This could be 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months for some. This could be 3 days, 3 weeks or 3 months for others. Okay, that's what's showing up. Yeah. somebody's ghosting or disappearing or disappeared and invisible. What are the, I want to just kind of see what's happening here. What are the messages from you to your person and your person to you? Let's get into that. Because now I want to go down the rabbit hole. I'm I want to be all in your business. Yeah, someone seems like they're still running. Trying to still be invisible, disappearing acts, I want to say. Yeah. Missed opportunity. I didn't act when I should have. Reciprocity. I want to have equal give and take. Overwhelmed. The stress from this is draining me. So, somebody here feels like they've missed an opportunity. Libra, I feel like this is more your energy. Feeling like you want to have equal give and take. Again, this looks like, I kid you not, so I'm not telling a fib. This is a masculine, brown skin masculine, and fair skin feminine, or vice versa. Okay. And then, yeah, someone was really stressed and drained from this situation. It's like you stressed yourself out, and this is a masculine energy here, you know. Um, yeah, you sabotage a situation. I messed up a good thing in my life. Sometimes I do that, you know. And I wasn't happy with the way things were going. Why weren't you happy? What were you not happy about as far as how things were going, Libra? Or somebody wasn't happy, okay? And then now you're afraid that it's too late to take action, okay? Now you're afraid it's too late, to take action. So let's see what your person has to say to you. What messages come from your person to you? I feel shattered about this situation. So you left someone pretty brokenhearted about the disconnection here, this disconnect. Yeah. This person, your person, maybe your person, because it says I'm afraid of what other people will think. Yeah, someone is concerned about, seems like someone's concerned about other people gossiping, because that's this what this is, gossip. Some type of gossip. Okay. I know my inability to make a decision hurts you. Soul tie, I always feel connected to you. And unfinished business, we still have things to resolve and discuss. Okay. So this can show up in many ways. When someone is feeling shattered about a situation, this often happens when there's been a connection to a person that was really deep, or a connection to a person who where there's been this connection for a really long time. It was a long time friendship or relationship or something like that. I remember I have a close friend of mine um, who um, we've gone through, man, our friendship has literally been tested. We've gone through the test of times for sure. Several times we've been out of contact and, just kind of, at least I, was cool on the person and maybe they were cool on me too, whatever. But the bottom line is I just remember this person telling me, and to this day they have held up their word to their word. They always told me that, hey, I value this friendship so much that if something were to ever happen to us, um, this is the one friendship in my life that I would definitely want to always fight for. And even when we've had those times apart, this person has always somehow showed back up to say, hey, can we talk? Hey, is this the end of the line for us? Like, hey, what are we doing? Because I need to know. This is bothering me. Um, and so what I'm saying that for is because when there's a situation that is shattering for someone, that's what it is. It's like this is a person who fights for you, who fights for the friendship, who fights for the relationship or has always fought for. Like there's probably been like no time where because friendships go through their thing, right? Where there's been time apart where it wasn't a coming back together. Like we always gonna come back to the middle. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, and then just, gossip, when we let other people basically in our ears about a thing, because oftentimes what happens is over time, when you love someone, when you're in a long time friendship or relationship, you tend to have the same circle, right? Or some similarities in your circle of friends and friendships, especially if you've been in a marriage or something like that, you kind of start having blurred lines with the friendships because everybody becomes friends. All your family become, if it's that kind of a marriage, all the families kind of blend together. You've gained other siblings, in-laws and whatnot. So it doesn't have to be a marriage. I'm just saying that's just what happens when we become friends with someone. We learn about their friends, we meet their friends. We all become part of the same circle, right? So gossip, is something that people tend to, man, is this person telling all our business to other people? Or, man, does everybody know that we're not even, friends anymore? We're not, or whatever. Or it could be more or less like, God, who's been in, this person's ear? Because this has never happened before. How do we just not be cool? Like what's going on with that? Like who was in your ear? You know what I mean? Like literally, this is just what spirit is giving me, how people kind of, because at a certain age you're not really tripping off of people gossiping what they're saying about you per se. It's just about, what the collective now views you as, because if someone telling them that I was a horrible person, that I broke their heart, that, or whatever. But these are the various things that could come up in this situation. And indecisiveness, you know, people, again, there's always so many different perspectives of this thing. And so who's being indecisive? You know what I'm saying? Is it, um, you know, the person being indecisive? Is no one really making a decision? Is there no clarity? Is there no definitiveness here in a situation? And a soul tie, soul ties to me give soulmate vibes, right? Or past life connection vibes. Or just someone, if you've basically come together and been together intimately, as they say, the belief is that you create soul ties, right? So this is someone that you've obviously recognized as someone that you're tied to, or you have soul ties to. This is someone who tugs at your soul, um, because it just seems like it's. I don't know. I just felt like I had to say that about the friend that I had in my life, because this is someone who I feel like you, or that this person, your person, they um, have always fought. You know what I mean, for your connection. So yeah, anyways, that's your person's messages to you, Libra. The very last thing I want to go over right now is what um, changes are underway for you at this time. Okay. Adult children shows up, I feel like for Libra a lot. not just Libra, but actually in a lot of the readings. So adult children here. Something may be going on with adult children, or maybe this is just, adults acting like children in a situation. So there's some changes there that is happening. People needing to mature, starting to mature, or recognizing that in order to mature, that there's some type of change that needs to happen. In the way that you're moving, in the way that you're doing things, in the way that you're communicating, or somebody's communicating, or in the way that you are relating. Okay. Here is dietary changes have been a little stagnant, I feel. I feel like maybe you start and think that you want to start doing something different, eating better, doing better, consuming well, but then kind of fall off. Okay. So, because this is in the reverse, but um, it needs to be turned up right. Okay. We can bring this back around by just focusing, locking in, as the kids say. Locking in and making sure that we're treating our bodies well, putting the right things in our bodies, okay? Making those subtle changes. You don't have to try and build Rome in a day. Make subtle changes. Do one little thing each day, okay? Because this is affecting you. It's affecting your body. It's affecting your health, your aging process, okay? And I feel like you're just in a state of blah right now, Libra. Like, it's just, I don't know, I'm just gonna say the wheels have stopped. Like, it's just flatline. It's just, God, I just did this for a reading recently. It's just like this, blah, right? Um, yeah, and then your healthcare situation isn't really changing. If you don't change nothing, if you don't change anything, or if you don't change nothing, nothing will change. If you know what I mean, right? So, yeah. And then spiritual growth here. Yeah. So once you start eating differently and start really kind of changing your routine up, then there's going to be a boost. Just going to be a light that comes on in your spiritual walk. Like your whole spiritual, not that you're even on that walk or that quest, but it's going to change the way you are spiritually. It's going to start opening you up and raising your vibration. Okay. And ultimately, this leads to a windfall, blessings underway, unexpected windfall. Okay. All right, Libra, that is your message. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading for you. And until next time, and all you're getting, get understanding. Remember that love is the highest vibration of all. Love brings change. Love heals all wounds. Um, Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You are where you are supposed to be for such a time as this. You are not behind. Okay? You are not behind time. You are not the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. You are not. You're right on time. But continue, or start if you haven't been, doing the necessary things to help you move towards your goals. Start changing things little by little. Again, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't have to try and change everything that needs to be changed right now, today, for always. But just start with one little thing. One thing a day, one thing a week, one thing a month. And before you know it, man, metamorphosis. Okay? Again, I love you, Libra. I wish you well, an abundance of health, wealth, love, and until next time, wholeness. Bye.